Get nice and comfy because I'm not going to be moving for a while. I got a beer. I'm set. Hello, my name is Quinn, otherwise known as Doren'dis. This is a video that I have tried to record a couple of times and I've been excited to record, so we're gonna just jump right into it. Jump right into my vinyl crate. Just do it. I will be explaining which vinyls I have not listened to hardly at all, if that is the case. There are a couple that I've listened to 1 or 2 tracks on, but there is a reason for that. I briefly gave up the hobby for a minute, and now I'm back at it. I just got 4 different vinyls today, so we're gonna do those ones first, and then we'll go into the other vinyls. So first we have Back to Black by Amy Winehouse. Ooh, the beer makes me burp. So I have not listened to this one yet. I obviously have listened to Rehab, but I actually bought this album because I heard that it was amazing and I wanted to see if it lived up to the standard, and even if it doesn't, by some miracle I don't like it, I will still be able to listen to that first song, so no harm, no foul. So the next record I have is The Family Jewels by Marina and the Diamonds. The back is particularly terrifying. I heard I Am Not a Robot as an 8-year-old and absolutely hated it. And then I heard it as a 22-year-old and was like, this song is a banger. And I love the song 17, and I love the song Oh No and Numb. I was super duper excited for this because I've listened to the whole thing, believe it or not. I love El Paso and I love Big Iron because, you know, Fallout. The only problem I have with it is, much like many of my other records, it came with the jacket kind of destroyed, which is a bummer. I like to keep them as perfect as possible. But this one, I literally just opened it today and it was already destroyed, so I have a couple different crown jewel vinyls I will save until the very end because, yeah, we'll just talk about those later. Typically my colored vinyls that I like to keep in the back of my crate anyways, so some of them aren't all back there, but most of them are. Next up, we have Californication by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. The jacket is iconic. I love this album. I used to listen to it with my mother, so it's got a lot of history for me. And what better way to always have her on my mind than to buy her and my favorite car riding album and buy it on vinyl? I don't know. Next up, we have Play Dead by Mute Math. Now this one, the jacket came particularly bent. I was very upset by that. I quickly changed my tune when I realized it's a gatefold. On the inside of this gatefold are all the song lyrics, so that's really exciting. Also, this is just a personal thing that I was really excited about, but I particularly like gatefolds, especially if it's a album that comes with 2 different LPs, because I like them to be separated. I don't like them to lay on top of each other. It's like a personal pet peeve, but I don't like, I'll show you my Johnny Cash album, because that's the one I can think of off the top of my head that's got this problem. But this bothers me. Here's 1, and there's 2. I don't like that. Not a vibe for me personally. Next up, I have Electra Heart by Marina and the Diamonds. There's a lot of history between me and this album. I won't go into it right now because that's for another video and for another time entirely. But this one is a gatefold. If I can open it. I saw these pictures on Tumblr when I was growing up, and now I own them. So that's exciting. Also, it comes with one of those, like, stupid paper slips. So next up, we have Ceremonials by Florence and the Machine. So this is one that I have listened to 2 tracks on out of many. The reason for that being I got it a couple of days ago, so there was no time for me to listen to it and to make videos. But here's the gatefold part of it. Amazing. I'm so excited. Seven Devils is a banger. It was one of my top listened songs for last year. The Essential Johnny Cash. So, Ring of Fire, I Walk the Line, There You Go, Ballad of a Teenage Queen, all songs I've heard before in the nursing home that I work at, which, weird flex, I know. But I have also heard his other songs with like my grandparents and my dad. So when I started to really want to branch out from pop, folk, and heavy metal, I decided this would be a good direction to go in. So I bought this one and I bought Marty Robbins the day after, and this one came first. I have not listened to it. Same deal as Ceremonials. I just haven't had the time since I got them. So, all right, next up we have Clouded by This Wildlife. This album I have such terrible memories with, and yet it's one of my favorite all-time folk albums. I listened to it in my first apartment. Sleepwalking was the first song I heard by them. I fell in love, hook, line, and sinker. I mean, that song, that cover, beautiful, glorious, huh? So, I listened to like Concrete and Over It and No More Bad Days and History and Roots and Branches and blah, 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 the rest of the album. And I have loved it ever since. Next up, I have Swimming by Mac Miller. I don't have anything to say about this. I thought Self-Care was 2 minutes too long. I didn't buy it for me, so I haven't listened to it. Next, I have Manic by Halsey. This was my first record I ever bought. I bought this one the day that my record player came because I wanted to make sure it was gonna work. And it's a gatefold, so my first album was a gatefold. The vinyl itself is clear. It looks so cool because I have this little diamond mat on my record player, and you can see the outline of the diamond through this record, and I just love that. So I'm gonna make this real clear right off the bat. I am terrible at pronouncing names. I'm not even going to attempt the last name of this particular artist because I don't know how to. Don't smile at me, and her name is Billie, and this is a great album, and it's red, and that is so cool. And unfortunately, I can't pronounce her last name, and if I tried, I'd mess it up because it's either Eilish or Eilish, and either way, I'm gonna pronounce it wrong. So here's the record. It is my only red record. Next up, I've got Bon Iver by Bon Iver. Probably pronounced that way wrong, but it's a gatefold. This was the third album I bought. I love folk music, so I listened to Towers at the same time I listened to Born to Die by Lana Del Rey and Electra Heart by Marina and the Diamonds, and I loved it. But I never went back and listened to the rest of the album. And then when I was purchasing Manic by Halsey, I was like, you know what? I want another album to go with it. So I bought this album and the next album together. And yeah, I listened to this one all the way through finally for the first time in like 7 years. And immediately I was just like, this is so worth the money. So glad I did this. All that good stuff. Speaking of record store pickups, I also have the Blues Brothers soundtrack. I have not opened it. I will not be opening it until my parents come to visit from Arizona. So here is the vinyl, and back in the crate it goes. Okay, next we have Vacation by Friendship. I love Friendship. I love Friendship. Did I mention I love Friendship? I love Friendship. 1000 Nights, Mi Amor, and Wide Open. If you're looking for good songs, those are great. This whole album is amazing. Then I have Aurora by Breaking Benjamin? I don't know. Benji. Breaking Benji. I like it. Anyways. So here's the gatefold. This next one has the same deal as the other one that I've shown you. This is Aventine by Agnes Obel. I have not listened to it yet. Main reason being I fell out of vinyl when I bought it. I just really wasn't feeling it. I put vinyl down as a hobby at that time. I put my crate somewhere cool and dry and was like, that's it. I'm done for a minute, and I was. So I have Born to Die by Lana Del Rey. I love this album. I grew up with this album and Electra Heart. As a kid, I really felt the music, which is like, it sounds like something so cheesy and cheap to say because the music is not super duper deep. Those two albums are not those artists' best music. They've grown a lot, they've become much better, but I always wanted them on vinyl, so I bought them on vinyl, and I will always stand up for that for myself. So, Supernatural by Santana. I'm opening up the gatefold right now. It's got these little pages in it, but here's the inside. Just look at that. So very cool. So cool. This is another one, other than the fact that I know all of the words to Smooth. Yeah, that's the one. Other than the fact that I know all the lyrics to Smooth, I have not listened to this album whatsoever, so I don't know any of the other tracks. I bought it because I like Smooth and I like Santana because I think he's an iconic guitar player. So, Badlands by Halsey. Fun story about this one. It came with a digital download card that expired 3 years ago. And that was a big, downside for me. Except the color of the vinyl really makes up for it because it's baby pink. Which is amazing. So, yeah. Also, Badlands is one of my favorite albums. I have the whole thing split up on several different playlists. I listen to it all the time. It's just a great album. I love it. But I love poppy music, kinda, so. Next up, we have Cry Baby by Melanie Martinez. I'm pretty sure I warped it, and I don't want to mess with it too much until I can get it cleaned. So it's gonna stay in the jacket. But here is the cover, here is the gatefold. I wanted to buy this album from the time I turned 19 until I started collecting vinyls. And the fact that I'm pretty sure I warped it is a soul-crushing thing for me. We have Diamond Dreams by Issues. Here is the vinyl. It's got the Issues logo in it. This is one of my all-time favorite albums. Clearly I have a lot of those. Well, I guess not really. I don't have very many favorite albums. I just so happen to own all my favorite albums on vinyl. Then I have my only picture disc. It's a big diamond for Black Diamonds. This is also an Issues album. And next I have my first album I purchased for my record player, and the one I was most excited for when I was on vacation, and that is Chronologic by Caravan Palace. This album is amazing. This is an amazing album. Miracle is such a great song, and then just the rest of the album, so worth the listen. Oh, it's amazing. Definitely one of my top 10. But I have a soft spot for Caravan Palace. I love electro swing. I will listen to electro swing all day long. We have my coolest looking vinyl, but not my favorite. And that is Finding God Before God Finds Me by Bad Omens. Here is the inside of the gatefold. And the other side. Now, I bought this and never opened it. And then I decided to open it on Monday, and I was just so pleasantly surprised. Yesterday I found out which side A is, and that's this side, and it's marbled vinyl, and it just is amazing. It's so cool. I love it so much. Words escape me. Every time I look at it, it just makes me happy. Next up, we got my 2 favorite all-time albums, and that is Disappear Here by Bad Sons. This album, side B all the way through, is amazing. I like the second movement on the album better than the first movement, but I still like the first movement. So this album, if you're looking for a banger to listen to, I would highly, highly recommend you listen to Daft Pretty Boys and then find this album because you'll like the rest of it. So, and the one that needs no introduction, oh, my prized possession, the Mamma Mia soundtrack. I know all the words. It's just amazing to hold it in my hands. The fact that it's 2 LPs like sandwiched into one jacket doesn't even bother me, not even a little bit, because this is my favorite album of all time. Also, the jackets are like not the super crappy paper ones. They're like a little bit better made, but oh man. Oh, I was so excited when I saw this. So that's gonna be it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed looking through my vinyl crate with me as I went through all of my weird musical tastes and all that good stuff. Hopefully you'll show up next time where I'll be talking about something equally interesting, hopefully. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.